You want to start out with a little bit of grease. Just put a dab on your finger and get a little bit around this surface here. You want to spread this very thin because I don't like a whole lot of grease inside the CVT. But a little bit on this surface here and a little bit in where this bushing will go. And you also want to get a little bit right on this surface here and on this little pin sticking out. Wipe off any excess. You want to start out with this kickstart gear and the bushing. Slide the bushing over the kickstart gear and set this aside for a second. Now you've got your kickstart spring. Take your vice grips and grip onto this little pin here. And you want to make sure you grip it really tight with a vice grip. Lock that into place, and then you want to take this hook and put it over this peg down here. Okay, so use your vice grips and twist this pin around so that it's basically opposite of this pin on the CVT cover. So you want this pin that your vice grips are holding to be over here on the opposite side. So twist that around. Shouldn't take a ton of force. Once you get it there, grab your kickstart with a bushing, kickstart gear with a bushing, and drop that into the hole in the CVT cover. And just push that down, and then you'll need to twist a little further most likely, so that you can get this gear to pass this spot on the CVT case, CVT cover, and then push that down so that it'll prevent the spring from coming back. And then you can unlock your vice grips to let go of that. But you want to keep pressure down on this, on the kickstart gear, so that nothing can come out at you. So you unlock your vice grips and you should see the spring is up against this corner of the kickstart gear. Now sometimes when you do this, as you can see, this spring will get twisted up. It comes up over, I'm not sure that you can really see it on the video, but it'll come up over the little surface in the CVT cover, and then it won't let you push this this kickstart spring or this kickstart gear all the way down the way you should. What you want to do is keep pressure on this kickstart gear here, but take a flathead screwdriver, kind of get it in right in this spot here, and push down on the kickstart gear while you pry this spring out, and you should be able to get it to pop down into place. Might take a couple tries, but like you can see, you can get it into place, and then you'll just need to hold pressure on this so nothing flies out. And while you're holding pressure on this, flip the CVT cover over. Again, make sure you don't release pressure. Once you flip the CVT cover over, you should see that there's a little groove in the kickstart gear here, and that's where your snap ring is going to go in a minute. I wanted to show it to you first because it's hard to see once I get the washer on there, but before you do that, start off by sliding the washer over the kickstart gear. Then you'll need to take your snap ring pliers and open up the snap ring and slide that onto the kickstart gear here. So I usually get it pretty close, and then I just finish off pushing it up the rest of the way into the groove with a flathead screwdriver. You just want to make sure that locks into place. Once you've got all that done, now you need to install your kickstart lever, and you'll want to make sure your bolt is totally out of the kickstart lever to make it easier to install. Now before you put it on, a lot of people will install this at basically 90 degrees or kind of parallel with the CVT cover, but if you want to make it easier for you to kickstart your scooter, get a little better swing without kicking the ground and stuff, install this so the lever coming off of it is about 2 o'clock. So once you figured out where you want it, line up the splines on the shaft and the lever and slide that into place. Sometimes they're a little stubborn, but once you know they're lined up, you should be able to just kind of tap it on. So once the lever is basically in place, then you need to bolt it on. And if you have trouble starting the bolt, then there's actually a groove between the splines on this kickstart gear here, and the bolt needs to line up with that groove or you won't be able to start it. So once you get that started, just go ahead and tighten it all the way up. So once that's tightened up, you should see that the kickstart gear should be moving everything under the case. Now we can flip the CVT cover over to finish the job. You should just have this gear here and the little metal piece that holds it in place. And what you'll need to do is drop this gear in, so this should engage these teeth here, and this piece is going to go here in your CVT cover. So you just kind of slide that into place on the pin, and you'll want to hold a little bit of pressure on here and move the kickstart lever, and then when it comes back down it should kind of pull it into place, and you may just have to work it in a little bit. Make sure that's seated all the way down. And once that's seated, you should be finished installing your kickstart gear into your CVT cover.